April 14th, and this is my one hive. I got this hive in last August from a guy that I think he's like Ukrainian. It was hard to understand him, but he obviously knew beekeeping, and bought the hive for 350 bucks, gave me the whole thing with some supers on it full of honey, and was able to actually harvest some honey. And he told me kind of what to do. I had no clue what I was doing, but I just sort of dove in. And then since that time, I've probably watched, I don't know, thousands of hours of YouTube videos. I feel like I got a decent handle. I got a PhD in YouTube bee videos. And so my plan is I'd like to come out of the summer. I didn't realize how risky it was just to have one hive. And so I was really, really glad that this hive came out of the winter really, really strong. And probably talk about that another time. But anyway, had to kind of rescue feed them right at the end of the winter. I didn't really realize they were almost out of food. Thought the hive was weak, but then a few weeks later when I finally got into it, it's really strong. It was super strong. So that's awesome. Most people in Pennsylvania, I guess they didn't have brood, and I had some strong brood because I started feeding pollen early, and I came out of winter really, really strong. So anyway, so my strategy is by the end of this summer, I'd like to have 10 hives. And you know, my plan is right now I have like 10 swarm traps out that I made, and they're all, you know, I'll go over them another time, show them to you. But I also have, like, back there, I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but back there I have a couple hives out like that where I just have some extras, and I put one in the front of my property, in the back of my property, in addition to some hives kind of at some other locations, so around the place. So anyhow, so my back to the strategy here. So I still want to get a bunch of honey because I really like honey. So I'm going to do a Demaree split, or a Demaree split, I guess is what they call it, on this hive. And I checked the other day. I actually checked maybe like 10 days ago, and it was like 4 or 5 frames of brood. And then I checked about today is Tuesday. I checked on Thursday, and it was really cold in between those two inspections. So beginning of last week, really cold. Nighttime temperatures were like in the 30s, and or even below that. And so I think what happened is all that brood, most of that brood emerged. And so when I did inspection on Thursday, there wasn't nearly as much brood, new brood. So it was like maybe 2 frames of brood, and then a bunch of uh, eggs and larvae. So anyway, so that's what I was dealing with the other day, and I planned, and it's pretty full. The whole hive's pretty full of bees. So I plan to do the split today before they start swarming. There were some cups, but no swarm, no activity. They weren't charged or anything like that. So didn't see any eggs in any of the cups, or maybe 5 or 6 cups I saw through the whole thing, and I just knocked them down, and then probably 4 or 5, and then yeah, so I think I'm in good shape. I think I'm before their urge to swarm here, but it's probably getting close. And I'm gonna put most of the frames up top, and with any active brood. I'll leave one in the bottom with a bunch of foundation, and maybe a few frames of drawn comb. I have a limited supply of drawn comb, so that's kind of a challenge for me this year. And then I'm going to add another deep that it only has a couple frames of drawn comb and the rest foundation, which I've waxed. It's all new, plastic foundation. And then also I'm going to put a medium deep on, which is mostly drawn comb. So I think there's 7 frames of drawn comb and 3 frames of new foundation. So there's plenty of drawn comb in the whole thing, but there's plenty for them to work on too, which is what I would really need, what I'm going to need later. So the goal is here, assuming I don't catch any swarms, I am going to let the top, I'm hoping they create some swarm cells, and I'm going to let the top go ahead and make a queen, and I'll leave that queen in for a little bit. At some point I'll pull her out if that happens, and then I'll let her lay up the top as well, keep pulling from the bottom, and then at some point I will pull that queen from the top and do a small split, maybe like a two frame split or something like that. I have a bunch of nukes that I made, and I got some feeders. I thought I'd just throw the feeders in them even if they need it or not, and just to take up some room. So I have 2 or 3 frames in there to get going, and then if they have the urge to swarm, we can maybe do some splits there. But when it comes time to the end of the flow, probably the end of June, early July, I will go ahead and I'm going to try some grafting out in I guess maybe the second week of June, and maybe that timing's off. I'm gonna do a little more research and get the timing right for the goal of when the flow is over, end of June, beginning of July, that I would have cells ready to go to split this like crazy because there'll be so many bees. I'll split it a bunch, and then hopefully come out of July with like 10 small nukes that I'm gonna feed like crazy and get them ready for the winter. So that's the whole game plan. So today I'm gonna do this big Demaree split. So we'll see how this goes. Well, that's nice. Already got a bee buzzing me. That's fun. All right, I still have this on. Wow, full of ants. From being a feeder, I'm not really haven't used this for a while, so call it a month. So I'll pull that out of the way. And actually, I meant to bring a top, what do you call it? Top cover or whatever. Wow, lots of ants. I guess the ants got it all cleaned up. That's good. But I don't need them all through the hive, so. I ain't even doing anything yet. That guy's on me. These guys are pretty, they can be good, but at times they can be a little feisty. So, so we'll see how they are today. All right, I'm gonna throw that out of the way. Lots of bees. All right, so we got, looks like it's pretty much full of bees. So the only right here, that's about half full. The rest of it's completely full. I see some new wax going on in here. There was a couple new frames that I have in here, here, and here are new. And so we'll see how they look here. So the queen has been in this upper one the last time that I've looked. So I'm not sure what we're gonna find today. So, but the cap brood last time was in the upper section, but there was a lot of eggs throughout. Yeah, I have a hard time actually seeing the eggs. I know where they should be, and I know kind of like they're there, but I still have a hard time seeing them. So anyway, I think one of the reasons why I want to do this channel is to get feedback from everybody, because I certainly don't know more than the people that are doing the videos that I watch, but I'd love to hear your feedback as I go on my journey here. So looks like we got lots of nectar there, and we've had plenty of blooming, for them to go pull in nectar. This is like full nectar, both sides full nectar, lots of bees. So I have this nifty little, I haven't seen anybody else do this, but maybe they do it. I'll show it to you at some point, but I have stands that I made that I'm going to be using for all these hives, and I made it so you can just put the frame down in them. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I haven't really seen anybody else do that. So anyway, I use that, get them out of the way. Okay, this one's really light, so there's not a whole lot going on here. There's some nectar going in though, but it's not very heavy. So I'm gonna use some smoke. Stick them back in. They're pretty calm, I guess, because of the nectar flow. So for what we have. And I don't understand all the nectar flows, whether we're like, it seems to me we have plenty to be able to call it a nectar flow, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I guess the real flow comes later. You can let me know. I'd love to hear that. So here's one of the frames that was literally, I just stuck it in like maybe 2 weeks ago. Look at that. So no, there's a cup. And let's see what that cup is doing. I can't really tell. The bees are on the cup. Let me see if there's anything going on. And I'm hoping not, because that changes things, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's just a cup. There's nothing going on in it. So no jelly, no nothing. Good. All right, cool. So that looks great. No, this is not a frame I just stuck in. This is one from last year. I can tell because it has the wax foundation, and mine are all plastic. So that is actually one from last year. So I don't know why they didn't draw that out completely, but they haven't. So, but they're busy on it. And I know last time I was in here, they were very busy on my frames of that I stuck in, the new frames of foundation that I stuck in. So I'm gonna guess by the time I'm done here, these guys are gonna be not happy. So now that's heavy, and there we have a whole frame of brood. So that looks really good. So this is where I saw her last week, and it was not this past Thursday. There's some cups. There's a bee in the cup right there. And it doesn't look like there's anything in them. So good, very good. All right. Looks like a drone comb right there, random. Looks like we got nectar all around the brood. And same on this side. So, and I do not see the queen yet. Lots of nectar in solidly around here. So that looks good. I think I'm gonna get rid of these cups. So it sort of makes it, if I get rid of them all, then I know exactly what's going on. Like, did they add them? Did they not add them? All right. Put that back in there. Looking good. All right, so here's the frames I put in not long ago. All right. Cool. Wow, look at that. So this is definitely one that I put in. You can see it's all new. I'm sorry. You can see it's all new wax right there, and she's already laid that up pretty good. I can't tell if there's eggs or not. I just have a real trouble seeing the eggs, so I can't see any eggs. There's nectar up here. I just cannot tell. So frames look good. There's no pollen that I see. I don't see the queen. She is marked. She's marked with blue. I think that means what? Last year? So I don't see her. And it looks like they're still working on the outside edge here. Plenty of nectar on this side. I don't know what that means. There's like a few capped here. So I'm not sure what that means. They got just a couple cap frames there. I can't really see in, like there's a little bit of liquid in that one, but I don't really see any eggs, and I don't see any other liquid in any of the other ones. Maybe a few of them have a little bit of liquid in them. So a little bit of pollen, I guess you call that bee bread right there. So I do not see any other cells on this one. So, all right. Lots of bees. Probably too much smoke, but that's okay. All right. I'll figure it out. Okay, another new frame. I'm really, you know, it's new to me to have these guys draw out these frames so fast, but that makes me feel good about it. You can see this is a black foundation. I wasn't sure if I was putting in, you know, what I was putting it in for, to be honest with you. I just grabbed one. So I do not see, oh, there she is. Actually, there she is right there. So let me see if you can see her right there. The blue's not, it's kind of like metallic blue. It's not bright blue. So I did not mark her. I bought her that way. So there she is, working this over. And there's fluid in here. I don't know if that means it's like, oh, I see eggs. Okay, cool. I can see those eggs real easily against the black. So that's really cool, okay? Because I've never seen them. This is the first time I've actually seen them. So cool. I'm glad I caught that on camera because, like, literally, I'm excited to see eggs for the first time. So I was like, what the heck? So you got eggs all through here. You'll have to tell me, like, so I can see some pollen here, different colors pollen. And then there's like fluid. I don't know, is that nectar, or is that them putting fluid in for the feeding the eggs or the larvae? So, and it looks to me, I don't know if I'm imagining it, but it looks like there's eggs in there. It looks like they're floating in that fluid. That's what it looks like, but I'm not positive. So you can tell me help me out then what I'm seeing there. So it'd be nice to see them draw this out a little bit better, but not too bad, right? So she's still right there. So we know where she's at. We're gonna put her on the bottom. I want it to be mostly foundation. So, and actually I meant to bring a new base, but I forgot to. So that would have been handy to have that, because I could have just stuck her in this new one. I think, this is the part I'm not sure what to do. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna keep it out. I'm gonna grab, I don't know if this is gonna be good to do this or not. Wait, I'll grab this. So I'm gonna stick this right here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the lid, flip it upside down, take the new one. This new one is all fresh foundation, except for just a couple. I got two frames, where is she? That'd be great. So I have two frames of comb. So I think I'm gonna put her in there. Oh, I see her. Okay, cool. So I'll stick her here in the middle. And then the base, I got the base that's not exposed, it's not open, so we know she's not gonna get out that way, and then I'll know where she's at. All right, so I'm gonna stick her, and actually, why don't I pull out a couple so she doesn't jump frames on us. All right, pretty cool. So far, so good. Of course, I see a lot of them getting on the ground. That's great. So hopefully that's not a big deal. All right, so I'm gonna leave a couple of these out, because I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just mixing these up a little bit. Like the frame I pulled out there, that might be a good one to throw in here, and then just have a variety of stuff going on. So, okay, so back to this. So now I have to figure out what I'm taking and putting in the top. And what I want is most of the brood to be up here. So we know we got eggs there. Probably leave one frame of foundation. This might be good. Actually, that seems pretty good to give her that one in the bottom, because she has plenty of room there. I don't see any eggs here. There might be, though. There might be. I think they're hard to see, but maybe give her this one. Okay, I'll stick this against her here. Just pull out one more just to make it easier. And so I'm going to stick that frame in the new one. All right, cool. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go see if I can get this so that you can see both things here. How about that? All right. All right, I think that's a pretty good angle right there. So, okay. All right, so far I have the queen on a newly pulled foundation that has plenty of room to lay. It looks like I have a frame of cap brood that looks like it has more space around it. I'm not positive. I can't tell if there's more eggs or not. And then I got a bunch of fresh foundation all through here. And then a couple couple frames of comb. So all right, so we'll keep going. Man, a lot of bees, which is awesome. I see, you know, on the YouTube videos, all these guys, and they have, you know, a zillion bees, and like, I don't know, I guess I'll get used to it, but so far, this is a lot of bees for me. So I can see down in there, there's plenty of bees on the bottom down there. So, okay, let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so we have, so on this one, we have, there's a good bit of pollen, mostly pollen, all through here. I guess some nectar through here. There's nectar all across here. So actually this would be a good frame to leave, to put with her maybe. And lots of pollen on this side and lots of nectar too. So there's some good resources right there. I think I'm gonna stick that over here too, just because. And I'll stick that right there. All right, and then let's see what we got here. Oh, sorry, bee. They're nice and calm. Lots of activity here. Okay, it's resources, so it's all pollen and nectar. This side, all pretty much all nectar, a little bit of pollen. And that's probably what we're gonna see here, right? So I'm just happy that foundation I put in, they pretty much drew. So this is again nectar and pollen, and on this side it's pretty much all nectar. So, and I just want to see what's going on the last one. Again, we have not much happening here. This is super light. Nothing really on that side. Little bit of pollen right there. Or I mean nectar. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not going to fill it back in yet. I want to see what we have in the bottom first before I decide what frames are going to go where. So. Oh, probably not a good idea. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. So, okay. So the big thing I want to see here is how much brood we have in this bottom. Some smoke going. So far we're only going to move up. Might have been a little bit early to actually even move this up, but I think things are going to happen so fast. I don't want to miss my opportunity to get this before they get that swarm instinct, and I think that's going to happen fast. So a couple more. If the brood, even the few frames, the 2 frames so far of brood that we have, is if that emerges, oh, a little fast probably, huh? All right, so that's pretty much just a little bit of nectar going on there. Let's stick this over here. But even the ones that are going to emerge, I think these boxes are going to get full, and then they're going to swarm really fast after that. So this is pretty heavy. So we got nectar and nectar. So looking good. I think the next frame is one I just put in. See what they got going on here. Let me smoke them. I'm gonna try to go a little faster now so I can get to the part where we can do the work. Very light. So they're just starting to work on this, and you can see like all through here it's all new. And then not much going on that side. That's a little disappointing, to be honest with you. So I'm not really seeing any drones. Is that guy a drone right there? Kind of looks like it, or that's just a big bee maybe. I can't really tell yet, to be honest with you. So I'm assuming he'll stand out a little to me. And I haven't seen any drone comb really. There's a little bit of drone comb that didn't really have anything in it yet. So I'm hoping to catch some swarms, and we need drones for that, right? Okay, so we got a little bit of brood going on here. Looks like a merging brood, I guess. So we got brood. We got the brood across here. It's pretty light frame, so I'm assuming I'm not going to see much on the backside. A little bit of pollen, and I can't see if she's put any eggs in this yet or not. Feels like there should be eggs. There's finally some sunshine, so. Oh no, there's it's larvae in here. Okay, cool. Actually, this would be a good one to graft, I think, because these are really small here. So when I'm ready to do that, that kind of makes me optimistic. Like, okay, there's the bigger ones, and this is the smaller one. So I'm sure the camera won't pick it up. So, but anyway, that's lots of. So they're going to be capping that. So this could, I guess this could go in the top as well. And I'm seeing more brood in the next frame, and I assumed that was going to happen. So we'll just see how many we have. Get my smoker going. Good job. Okay, wow, look at that. That is packed. That is end-to-end packed right there. That's really good. So it's all brood. You got some pollen on the outside there. We got some drone comb on the bottom. They had made that before. I had moved this. I had reversed the frames. Got 2 cups on this one. This is just some weird comb, I think. It doesn't look like it's like a cup or anything like that. And then nothing in this one, and nothing in that one. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So let me see, buddy. Okay, cool. So good. Really good. Okay, so really full. I like that a lot. Just a little bit of drone comb down there in the bottom, I can see. Bees are starting to get after me. Get this smoker going. Come on, go down. Okay. Feels heavy, assuming this is more cap brood right here. Yeah, looks like it's emerging brood is what it looks like. Sorry, looks like, yeah, it looks like emerging. It's hard to say though, like it's got, see, it's like shiny in between. You got some pollen in here, and it's like got some shiny frames in there. Oh, I can see it, okay, it's a larva in there. So, okay, cool. So now I can actually see what's going on there. It's hard to tell. Yep, this is bigger larvae here. So I guess they'll be capping that up. So pretty neat. All right, and I'm seeing what? I see 1 cup that's empty. Here's another cup that's empty. I'm gonna just knock this down real quick. Now my guess is when I move these to the top, they're gonna immediately make some some queen cells out of that, and which I guess is fine in my scenario. I know that the Demaree, I guess it's Demaree method, like doesn't necessarily want you, doesn't call to have a queen in the top, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then, which I just realized I forgot a divider, so excluder. So I'm going to have to run back and get one, which is a bummer. Again, another good looking frame of brood. So yeah, with lots of big larvae in this, so I guess they'll be capping that. Looks like that's all getting capped right now. So, oh, almost dropped it. So lots going on there. And I think this is in the same boat. So they're, well, I'm not seeing larvae on these. I've seen some larvae. But, so I'm not sure what's going on those empty cells right there. I cannot see eggs in them, but that doesn't surprise me. So, I couldn't see them before. Smoke. I'm kind of bummed I forgot an excluder. It'll only take me a minute to go grab one, but I like to just get this done. So far so good. I'm gonna find some frames. I think we're gonna use this box to put on top. Here's some fresh comb that they're drawing out. That looks okay. And same on that side. They're drawing that out. So that's good. So I think I'm gonna pull this. Gotta identify all the larvae or the cap brood so we get that all together. Yeah, they're starting to get worked up now. I gotta get moving. So, wow, and there's more. That's great. All right, but it looks to me like it's really blocked in. So you got nectar, and then some bee bread, and then obviously some caproot in the middle. All right, and then this side, I don't see any cells at all. This side it's hard for me to tell. It's got like white in the bottom, but I can't really see larvae in there. So I'm not really sure on that one. So yeah. And I do believe in another week this thing's going to be packed. Okay, no cells that I see. Okay, and just a lot of nectar. So a little bit of bee bread. Okay, so very cool. Kind of what I expected, I guess. So, and also expect that this would be like just going absolutely nuts. And if I waited another week. So it would be really, really full, probably to the point where I would find some swarm cells. And from what I've been watching, that would be too late. So we'll do something today. It's very warm today. I'm sweating like crazy. So I got to find the other frames of brood out of here. I think I'm going to fill, I'll leave that kind of the way it is, a bunch of foundation, and then make them work to be able to lay there. And I think we said this is getting worked on. So this box will end up in under the top box. Just looking for any more brood. I can't remember what we had, to be honest with you. Maybe super light. There we go. This was that really, this is a heavy frame of brood. Really full. My goodness, this thing is gonna be popping. This whole thing's gonna be really, really full soon. All right, again, this is going on the top. This box right here will be all the way at the top. I'm sort of torn whether I'm gonna put an excluder under them or not. I probably could. I'm sort of not sold on that, but I feel pretty confident. The other thing is, I guess we're going to have a queen up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 9. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 9. So I want 10. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze these together. And I guess as I was sitting here thinking, we have to have an excluder, right? So because if we have that queen, we want to keep the upper queen all the way at the top. So if not now, maybe I'll leave it off right now. I'm going to come back in like 4 days and just make sure we have some swarm or some emergency cells. And then if we have those, I may knock some down to a couple. Probably the game plan. Watch out, buddy. And then we can add the excluder then. All right, just want to check for one more brood. I'm going to throw this one here. They're getting a little bit upset. Take this foundation, this all fresh foundation, start putting it in here. Double check. This one has a lot of resources on it, so I'm going to stick that here. This is the box. This will go second position. So it'll be this one top, this one second, that one third, and then this one on the bottom. So then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot. They're going to have to do a lot of work down here to get her placed to lay. And so we need one more here, and then that's the top one. Well, I'd like to add some foundation to here is what I really should do. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of these. And so it's got a lot of brood here. Not the easiest thing. A lot of bees going on here. Smoker's going out. I wasn't using it. Kind of rushing. You know, they're buzzing me, but they're not really trying to sting me. So I guess if I didn't have my jacket on, they'd probably be stinging me. I'm not crazy worried about getting stung, but I mean, like, I've tried to use no gloves and I got stung, and you know, my touch is probably, I've only done this, I haven't even done this 20 times. So like, kind of crazy to think that, but again, I've watched a zillion videos. I got a PhD in video watching at this point, And so I think that's kind of helped me out a lot to be where I'm at right now. I feel like we're in good shape. So with her on the bottom, I'll put this other frame in here. Has some resources. And they're gonna have to start working hard for her. All right, I'm gonna go zoom real quick and get the excluder, so be right back. Okay, made it back. What I have is lots of bees. I don't know, the more I'm looking at them, the more I feel like this is the right timing for this. I did bring back a bottom board, a fresh bottom board, because I thought this one's looking a little beat. So we'll put a new bottom board on. And then I got 2 queen excluders, a top board, I don't even know what that's what you call that, with a, because I'll do an upper entrance. Since we're going to do 2 excluders, I think it'd be a good idea to do 2 an upper entrance. And then yeah, I think that's what we got. So I'm going to grab this, get this out of the way. I'm going to put the new board down. Stick that out there a little bit. It won't hurt me. All right, and then smoker going. There we go. Okay, so the queen now is in here. Looks like a lot of bees are there with her. So I'm going to pick this up and set it right down on here. So that'll give us the entrance again for all the ridiculous amount of returning bees. Go ahead and pop the, well, I guess I can do that in a minute. So, all right, and then what do we have? We have this, very hot. I gotta get my new suit out. I got a new one, a lightweight one. All right, so I'm gonna pick this one up, stick this over here. There's lots of bees there. Crush them, hopefully not. Didn't feel any crunch. Okay, I'm gonna put the queen excluder on. I cannot remember if you're supposed to have those up or down. They're all but the same though. There's a little bit of, I think it's smoother on this side. I feel like it's the same. Looks the same to me. Okay, cool. So that's actually really good. I don't remember what kind these are. They were a lot more expensive than the Amazon ones, but like this is Bob Benny, is that how you say his name? Bob Benny or something? This is the one he had recommended. So I made note of that, found that one, and they did some experiments. And if anybody has any questions on them, I can go back and look at where I bought them. So it was one of like the main ones, like, you know, Man Lake or whatever. So okay, now I'm gonna go, a couple dead bees there. I must have crushed them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the this is a mostly drawn comb, old drawn comb, and with 1, 2, 3 foundations, plain foundations. Oh, I forgot to space them towards the middle. Probably should do that real quick, right? So it's funny, there's already bees in that box that didn't have any. So must have been because it was sitting, the other one was sitting on top of it. So, anyway, so we'll go ahead and push these together. That was a rookie mistake, I think. You see him push them all the way to one side, and then push them back in the middle. Yeah, it's kind of a fairly tight anyway. There's not a lot of space on the outside in these boxes. I have, most of my equipment is not new. I got the original box from that guy, as I've mentioned, and then a lot of stuff I did buy. I think I bought 2 new ones, like on Amazon or whatever. And then, and then which I haven't used a lot of that. And then another one I got, or then I ended up getting a big package off a guy who had to get rid of all of his stuff because his burrow didn't allow it. And he lives in town, and I live in a township in Pennsylvania. He lives in a borough, and they don't allow beekeeping. So he had to get rid of all of his stuff, which is a bummer for him. And then what did I just do? Isn't this the one with the queen? Oh, that's the one I picked off the ground. That's the one I picked off the top of that one. Okay, so this is going to go on next. And that's got a lot of resources in it. Just want to double check. Of course, I just forgot to push those frames together. Didn't I? Can't remember if I did or not. Nope, I didn't. I'm surprised at how many bees there are in this one that didn't have any activity at all before. So, all right, and this is going on top. Can't wait to watch the video back just to make sure, because you know in my head right now I'm thinking like, ooh, did I put the queen in the bottom or not? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm almost positive. So, all right, so I'm gonna compress these down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this box has a lot more room than the other box. I'm noticing a little bit of wobble in the whole thing, so I'm gonna have to see what's going on with that. Yeah, it's surprising amount of space in this one compared to the other ones. So, because the one on the bottom, it just didn't have much space at all. Okay, and then I'm gonna go queen excluder, and then all that awesome brood is gonna be in the top one. And I am going to put an entrance there, I think I mentioned. You know, these bees are chill, honestly. So compared to how they've been sometimes when I worked them before. Oh shoot, I forgot there's a bottom board here that I didn't dislodge. You guys probably all saw that, which was probably a good idea up until now. I forgot it. Now they're mad. Now they're real mad. Not much smoke. Calm down, people. You can see this bottom board that's looking pretty beat. So yeah, I'm glad we're taking that off. Okay, now we'll stick this on top. Man, I'm kind of excited. I think we're catching this just at the right time based on everything I'm seeing. Oh, need that. Crushed too many bees, but it feels like I did. Come on, girls. Kind of weird with the excluders. A little more slidey, like, you know. Maybe it's because they're brand new too. They're not built up yet. Whew, I am sweating. All right, now I got this. I was in a hurry, so I just grabbed one that's a feeder, but that's fine, I guess. And then it's got the back entrance. I'm gonna go ahead and stick that on this way. Give them a little warning. Come on. Come on. So they got the back entrance. Got so much sweat. I don't really need that anymore. And then I'm gonna leave the insulation off. I think we're past that time. And then there's so many bees in this hive that doesn't even matter now. So I'm gonna put that on and give it the space to the back. See if I can get that to, yeah, I think we're in good shape there. As long as that doesn't get dislodged. All right, so let me wrap this up. So, all right, my first video, I got a lot going on. Demaree Split, Demaree, I think it's called. Went really, really well. I'm super excited about it. We got tons of brood up here. I lost count how many frames of brood we have. We must have, I don't know, 5 or 6 frames of brood would be my guess. And they were really full. And then there was some more, like 1 frame down there with some eggs that she was laying on that frame. And then there's some drawn comb and some resources down there. And hopefully the bees will move that out of her way so she can lay in that. And then there's plenty of foundation down there that they can work on to draw out and get that ready for her. I did use they're pre-waxed. I can't remember where I got them from, the new foundation. But I also used I didn't melt any on. I don't have enough to do that. But just from the wax I got last year, I just rubbed it on like a crayon almost. So it looks like so far it's working pretty well. So, but anyway, we'll see if I, hopefully you give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow my journey. I'd love to get lots of advice from you. I think that's why I'm making this video, is just to hear what other people would be doing and saying about what I'm doing. I've done a lot of research. I don't know if it's going to be right. I'm pushing a little bit. I want to get honey, but I want a bunch of hives coming out of the summer. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, no, don't do that. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get a bunch of honey out of this, and I'm going to end up with 10 hives one way or another. So, all right, that's it. Follow along. Appreciate you watching.